is a church in McAllen, Texas, which is right on the border between Texas and Mexico, that has transformed itself into a welcoming center for the hundreds of immigrants that come through there every week. Many of them kids, unaccompanied kids, from not just Mexico, but now more and more some of the countries of Central America that are in such turmoil right now. No one assigned this job to this church. They simply responded to the need of these kids on their doorstep. They had to do something. They have now 100 volunteers. They give them baths. They give them clothes. They try to give them food, but quite often they can't keep it down. So they have taken to giving them chicken broth and a bottle of Pedialyte. Then they go to a tent area in their parking lot and are assigned and bused to somewhere in the country where they may have relatives or friends to wait what is going to happen to them. Many of the people who volunteer were immigrants themselves. One interesting story is a 27-year-old medical student who came over here when he was 13. His country was overrun. He'd been shot in both arms. He escaped with his life. Now he has an education, and he's going to become a doctor. And so he's come to volunteer because he says, I understand these kids. He also says he knows that this country is grappling over what to do about this. But he does say that if we send them home now, we send them to their death. I understand, he says. This is my neighborhood. And if my neighborhood is in trouble, then I help my neighbors. Well, that sounds pretty godly to me. That sounds like what Jesus asked it to do. And so we affirm this church and what it is doing at this time. And especially here where we represent the gospel of Bienvenidos, we welcome their work in terms of, I believe, the kingdom of God. Now, I know there's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of debate over where we should be on the issue of immigration. That's not what I'm talking about here. That's not an easy solution. There is not one. But I have to say that if you lived in McAllen, Texas, you wouldn't get to just be political about this. You would have to be real about it because you've got real kids that are on your doorstep. Think about some things that have become real in our own life, in our own neighborhood, and we need to act on those things. Let's not be so separate, so distant. Let's not just turn something into being political. Let's make it real. These people acted out of their hearts. We need to do the same. This is John Fisher for the Gospel of Welcome for everyone, everywhere. Bienvenidos.